All right, let's talk about money. Specifically, let's break down the real numbers behind cybersecurity salaries. We're going to cut through all the hype and show you what you can actually make, why the pay is just so high, and then lay out a clear roadmap you can follow to get there yourself.
I love this quote because it's so real. I think we've all been there. You hear these massive six-figure salaries getting thrown around, especially in tech, and your first reaction is, no way, $120,000 a year? Come on. It sounds almost made up, right?
Well, get ready for this. That $120,000 figure, that's not even the ceiling. In fact, for a lot of senior folks, it's closer to the floor. Top-tier senior analysts are regularly pulling in over $165,000, and that's just base salary. We haven't even touched bonuses or the really specialized roles yet. The earning potential here is just wow.
Okay, so the big question is, why? Why on earth is the pay so high? It's not some kind of magic trick. What we're seeing is basically a perfect economic storm, a total modern-day gold rush. Let's dig into what's fueling this whole thing.
This number right here, this explains pretty much everything. Globally, there are 3.5 million unfilled jobs in cybersecurity. Just let that sink in for a second. That's not a typo. It means companies are absolutely desperate to find people with the right skills to protect their stuff.
So here's the bottom line. It's a simple and kind of brutal supply and demand situation. The supply of people who actually know what they're doing is low. It's scarce. Meanwhile, company demand is through the roof. And whenever demand is that much higher than supply, the people who have the skills, they get a ton of negotiating power.
And here's why that demand is so incredibly desperate. The stakes are massive. We're talking about an average cost for just one data breach of nearly $4.5 million. So think about it. When your job is to prevent multi-million-dollar disasters, paying you a six-figure salary doesn't just seem reasonable, it starts to look like a fantastic bargain.
Okay, so we've nailed down why the money's so good. Now let's get into the fun part, how you can actually earn it. This is your guide to climbing that career ladder, starting from day one all the way to becoming a seasoned pro.
Just take a look at this growth trajectory. Seriously, this isn't one of those careers where you have to grind for a decade just to get a decent raise. We are talking about the potential to nearly double your starting salary in just 5 years. That kind of acceleration is one of the most incredible things about this field.
So, where does everyone start? Right here, at the entry level. You're the first line of defense, you're watching the alerts, learning the fundamentals. The pay is already solid, but the key thing to remember is that this is your launch pad. If you're good at what you do, you're not staying here long. Most people move up within 18 to 24 months.
Now, after just a couple of years, the whole game changes. You're not just watching alerts anymore, you're actively hunting for threats. And your salary? It takes a huge leap, often blowing past that six-figure mark. This is also where things like specializing or getting certain certifications become like rocket fuel for your paycheck.
And this, right here, is the payoff. Once you hit the senior level, making six figures isn't the goal anymore. It's the starting point. Your job shifts from being in the trenches to designing the whole battlefield. You're building security systems from the ground up, you're leading teams, and you're the one in the room advising executives. The responsibility's huge, and so is the paycheck.
But if you really want to see where the big money is, it's all about specialization. Look at these roles. A penetration tester, that's basically a professional, ethical hacker, can pull in over 200 grand. A security architect? Easily over 220,000. And then you have the CISO, the chief, the executive in charge of everything, who can see pay packages north of $500,000 a year. We're talking about truly life-changing money here.
Okay, so we've spent a lot of time on the what and the why. Now let's switch gears and get into the how. This part is all about the practical, actionable stuff. This is the roadmap you can actually follow to build a career in this field.
First, let's just address the elephant in the room. Is this stuff hard to learn? And the honest answer is yes, it's challenging, but probably not in the way you're thinking. This isn't about being some kind of math genius or a born coder. The skills that really matter are things anyone can develop. Being curious, paying close attention to detail, and just being persistent. This is a field for people who love to solve puzzles and never stop learning.
So how do you actually break in? It's not a big secret. It's a process. And it looks like this. 1, you build that foundational knowledge. 2, you get your hands dirty. You get hands-on experience. 3, you go after the certifications that prove you have the skills. 4, you build a portfolio so you can show employers what you can do, not just tell them. And 5, you get out there and network. It's a formula that works time and time again. And let's talk about ROI, because getting certified is one of the most direct ways to boost your salary. Getting your Security Plus right at the start, that can add up to $8,000 to your first offer. Fast forward a few years and get your CISSP, we're talking a $20,000 or even $30,000 bump. There is a straight line connecting these credentials to your paycheck.
But here's something that's really important to get. Your base salary is just one part of the story. The total compensation in this field goes way, way beyond that number on your biweekly check. Let's pull back the curtain on all the hidden value that makes these jobs so amazing.
This chart really puts it all into perspective, right? Yeah, the base salary is the biggest piece of the pie, but look at everything else. You've got stock options, you've got annual bonuses, and you've often got a pretty hefty training budget too. When you're negotiating a job offer, you're not just talking about one number, you're talking about this whole package.
And then you've got all the lifestyle perks. Working remotely? That's the norm here, not the exception. We're talking 60 to 70% of all roles. Companies will often give you thousands of dollars a year to keep learning. They'll fly you out to major conferences like DEF CON or Black Hat. And on top of it all, you have incredible job security. You are not just an employee, you're an essential asset, and you get treated like one.
So we've gone through the numbers, we've walked the career path, and we've uncovered all the hidden perks. Now it's time to bring it all home and ask the biggest question of all. When you add it all up, is it worth it? What's the real payoff here?
It feels like a simple question, doesn't it? But the answer goes so much deeper than a dollar amount. It's not just about what you earn every year. It's about what that money, what that security, what that career enables you to do with your life.
And that's what it all comes down to. This is the ultimate value proposition. The high pay, the crazy job security, the flexibility to work from anywhere, it all boils down to one incredibly powerful thing: freedom. The freedom to design a life that you actually want to live. And that, right there, is the real bottom line.